Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Resto, and in today's video we're going to be covering the 20 Twink Feral and Guardian Druid. As per usual, we're going to keep this video short and sweet and to the point. Like all the other guides and future guides to come, these guides are going to be tailored to wargaming, as it's not worth promoting retail in its current state, being a one-shot fest. However, if you are into that degenerate behavior, don't worry, stand by. I still will show pug information. The gear is exactly the same. The only difference is I'm changing trinkets that I use with each spec, so that's why I'm including it in both videos. With that being said, the stat priority for the Feral and Guardian Druid is going to be verse mastery. The mastery for the two specs do have different purposes, however they both have the same goal. It's increasing damage, whereas mastery over on Feral is increasing your bleed damage, whereas mastery on Guardian is increasing your attack power. But with Guardian Druid, mastery also increases your healing received. The gear that you see on the screen right here is exactly what I wore in the gameplay as a Feral Druid. The armored tusk is going to amp up your mastery even more, allowing more of a bleed tick. And then if you're looking at the Guardian side of things, this right here is what I was running as well. The only difference, like I said, was the trinket. I'm running Giant Stalker to increase my agility rather than my mastery, just because I am looking to increase overall attack power. As for the pug side of things, this is the exact same gear that I would go into pugs with. The only difference is the gems. I would use agility gems rather than the 1/1. On the topic of gems, if you're looking into the wargame side of things, you're looking at the Adept Lava Coral, and then if you're looking at the pug side of things, you're looking at the Delicate Ornate Ruby. If you would like to run Shadow Gems, you can. I don't recommend Shadowland Gems on the Druid side of things for Feral or Guardian, just for the sole reason is you want as much agility as possible for your attacks to actually be meaningful. When covering the talents, this right here is what I currently run for Feral. We're speccing into Primal Wrath and as well as our Stealth Stun. I did do some testing over the months and noticed that there's two other talents that you can also run as well, but it didn't matter because it all came out to the same damage outcome, so I chose a Stealth Stun instead. Obviously having utility and the extra stun goes a long way. As for talents on the Guardian Druid, this right here is what I currently run. We're speccing into a bunch of procs, so that way we're able to produce more damage, as well as a slow, so that way we're able to stay on top of our target. On the left side of the tree is going to be very similar to the Feral Druid. The only difference is we're going into Verdant Heart, so that way we're able to receive more healing, because as a tank you are going to take more damage. Then lastly, the professions, you're looking at leatherworking for the leg enchant and inscription for the shoulder enchant. When covering the gameplay for the Feral and Guardian Druid, they play very similar roles and have very similar playstyles. However, the way the classes are played are very different. And what I mean by that is Feral is more of a rock class where it burns down the enemy through their bleeds, and the Guardian Druid is more of a physical class where a lot of the damage comes from maul and mangle. Both specs are teamfight oriented and are also able to go on their own solo missions to go for the EFC as well, based off of how Primal Wrath works, spreading out their bleeds entirely to the entire masses around them, and then you have Thrash and Moonfire being able to rot down enemies as well. A little bit of a combo burst that I like to do is opening up with Rake, following it up with Shred to get my 5 combo points. I wait for my energy to replen, and then I use Rip, and then I go into Tiger's Fury to give myself a little bit more energy, dumping in the same rotation of Shred into the 5th combo point, and then following it up with a Ferocious Bite. If you're not going for a single target burst, the biggest thing that you want to focus on as the Feral Druid is just making sure your bleeds are always up and always on your targets. The Guardian Druid plays a very similar role when it comes to the bleeds. It's just going into Thrash and Moonfire. You want to be able to have this on as many targets as possible, as this will give you your insta procs on resetting Mangle. Unless you have enough rage, you're going to dump it all into Maul. This is going to be your biggest damage dealer, and then if you're going in for filler damage because you have max bleeds and your dots are all up on your players, you're going to be spamming Swipe. One thing that the Guardian Druid carries that the Feral Druid does not is the instant proc regrowth. This not only can be used on yourself for a defensives if you're going really low, but this can be used on your teammates as well to help your healers or even your FC in an oh shit moment. The proc on the instant proc regrowth does have ECD, so you don't just want to go ahead and use it right off the bat. Make sure you're using it in a very valuable moment if the proc is getting ready to expire based off of your tooltip on the top, go ahead and dump it into something, because that means you are eligible to get another regrowth proc. Outside of that, that is the basics for the Feral and Guardian Druid. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video here. If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, go ahead and drop that in the comment section below, and I will do the best that I can to answer those questions. So if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you really like to give it a favorite, commenting is free as well as subscribing. It's been Resto, guys. See you guys next time.